Nightly Musers, followers of the pod, faithful few and hopeful many. This is Anchor by Spotify. If you haven't heard about it, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. It's the very platform that allows me to give you what I give you on the nightly. So let me explain. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. And it gives you the ability to distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and so much more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally FREE free. So here's where you come in. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. That is ANCHOR.fm to get started. Thank you very much. Peace.
Y'all, I am in quarantine still, and I am kind of nervous. Like, one of the things that I forget as I I don't forget this, but like part of my job is I get paid to sing. Like, my musical abilities is kind of, it's not like it's a main part of my job as a assistant worship director is music. And I remember the first time I had COVID, how difficult it was for me to regain like my strength vocally, which was scary. I remember Hannah Montana, the TV show, Miley Cyrus, she I think she got in she didn't get in a car accident, but something happened. She had to get a procedure done on her throat or vocal cord or something, and she couldn't talk, and she was like, man, like, who am I if I can't sing? And that always struck me because at the time I was a kid, so I wasn't actively doing things where my voice was like a commodity. But as a as a professional musician, as a songwriter, as a content creator, and with most of the content being music, like right now, actually, I guess most of the content that I put out for the world is podcast stuff right now. So it's just my talking voice, but my singing voice, like, I've never really thought about the idea of like, what if I couldn't sing? What if I lost a step, figuratively speaking? And yeah, I guess having COVID twice now, it makes me like, I'm very aware of the effect that it mainly attacks your respiratory functions. And so that scares me, especially because people have different like length in terms of time, like there's, it varies in terms of how long the effects can be. And it could be that the symptoms can be gone, but the effects can still be there. And so anyway, I guess this episode is to just kind of talk about, I'm a little afraid. And I say that, and there's also a part of me that's like, Kennedy, in 2 weeks, you're going to be able to sing full throated and you'll be fine. But you never know. And also, I think just with this virus, like, there's so many people in my life who have had like so many different like reactions to it physically. Somebody that I care about a lot, like, it took her a long time to get back to normal, and it terrified me. To the point where, I legit, like, it would shake me up when I would see her, because she was different, and she's finally, like, a couple years later gotten back to normal. But some people die, some people get it, nothing happens. Some people never get it, whether they're vaccinated or not. Like, there's just a lot of, like, it's such a unique and varied experience with COVID. And in some ways, I mean, just to say, like, one, like, I'm thankful, one, that, like, I can, while in quarantine, while still kind of dealing with some of the symptoms and very much feeling like I'm on the mend. I mean, even when I wasn't on the mend and my throat was struggling, like, I was able to record 3 episodes. I was able to, I mean, I was in bed like I am now, and I was struggling, voice labored, breath, and a lot more pauses in between my phrases, but I was strong enough to be able to do that, and here I am recording 3 more. Like, it's a blessing to be able to say that, and to do this, because that's not the case for everybody. And man, like, the amount of people that checked up on me, the friends, that accountability group that I have, that, I mean, I feel like we've been texting more than since we started. Tevin, my co-host with Life in Between, like, we text so much. The people that check up on me, my mom, my sisters, my dad, everybody's just been checking in and calling, and it's been really hard to kind of miss out on certain things. I really, really wanted to be at that wedding this weekend, and I was playing at that wedding, and I joked, like, I was serious, but I, jokingly, like, I was going to make some bread there, but really I was going to be able to see one of my best friends get married, and that was going to be so exciting. And I guess, and man, I got a suit altered and everything, and I don't get to wear that suit right now. Like, there's just a lot of things that I don't get to do. And still, I think in all of that, you can, again, to kind of piggyback off of the episode where I was talking about my struggles in quarantine, like, you can choose to look at what this has taken away, or you can look at what this has given me. And it's given me, like, I mean, for one, it's given me content. Like, I'm getting to talk about what I'm learning in this space. I get to talk about some of my struggles, and hopefully that's an encouragement to somebody. And I get to talk about, like, I don't know. I like what I'm learning, which is good. But within that, I mean, fear is real. And yeah, I guess with music, it's been interesting. I've been listening to this guy. He does like reactions to Christian music, and I guess his story was that I think he's a Hispanic guy, or Latin X. I don't say that in a, just like, I'm trying to remember the actual term, but I think it's Latinx or Hispanic. And he wasn't a Christian, or grew up in the church or like Catholicism and then left. And I think he started his YouTube page, not a Christian, reacting to Christian-y stuff. And so one of his first videos was to Oceans. And I listened to it, and it is so cool seeing a non-believer react to Christian content, especially when it's like moving and they see it and they feel it. And as he started, like, he's conceptualizing it and talking about the emotion of the song and it started to kind of like move him. And so now he would call himself a Christian. And so now it's former non-Christian reacts to So Will I or whatever. And so I just remember I was listening to Taya lead Oceans, and that's one of my favorite songs. I don't listen to it as much anymore because it's been done so much, but it never kind of gets old on me when I listen to her sing it. And it was the live version at Caesarea, I can't remember how to say it, but they're in Israel, and she just like, she hit these notes that were just impeccable, immaculate, like insane. Like she just went to stratospheric, dude. It was crazy. And like I got the chills, man, and I was like, whew. And I'm not on that level. Taya is Taya, but I was like, man, like I can't wait to do that again. Like I can't wait to be able to just let loose and go. And it's funny because I still feel like I'm learning how to do that. Like, especially at this church that I'm at, it's not new. I've been there for almost 4 years now in terms of like, I interned there twice, and then I became a ministry partner or member. It's a dead giveaway of the church I go to if you are from North Carolina or at the church. But anyway, it doesn't matter. We call members ministry partners, and I became a ministry partner after my second bout as an intern. And so I've been attending the church really since 2019. And I've been working at the church 2018, 2019, 2020 for a year. So 2018, 2019 summer, 2020 for a year. And then I got hired full-time in fall 2021. And so I've been there for a while. But one of my first kind of times leading there, as I started leading, they allowed me to sing So Will I. And that was kind of like my song per se. And that part, and we'll sing again 100 billion times. Oh, whoa. Like I can't even, I mean, I struggle to hold that whole thing out when I do it, like legit. And I couldn't even, I would like die if I did it now, coughing. But that one in Seasons, where it, you could have saved us in a second. Instead, you sent a child. Though the winter is long, even like it's those two songs. Like I mean, they have a similar flow. And I guess Oceans does to a degree, not in the way that song tells a story is very different than Seasons and So Will I. Those two are very similar. But there's these builds, and you get to kind of just let your voice go crazy. And I can't wait to do that again. And anyway, point being, I've been at this church for a while, and but it still feels new because I grew up in the church and I spent 20 years at one church. And I feel like I went through all of the levels of like learning, and not all of them, but like I matured there as a singer, as a worship leader, as a director. Like I learned a lot in that space, and I feel like I'm relearning that in this new space because it's new and I'm not the guy anymore, and I'm learning how to like be myself again, because I had to learn that when I was a kid in the church that I grew up in, and I learned it from people, and now I'm kind of having to relearn it on my own. And relearning it means kind of re-encouraging myself to be free and to figure out what being me means in this space, in this new space. And it's been such a valuable kind of process for me in this new space. I don't know how long I'll be at this church, but while I'm there, like that's one of the things that I am learning. And it's been really sweet to see kind of like God molding me into kind of Kennedy now. And it's fun. And I'm excited to get back to that. And so this is me just kind of, I don't know, I just wanted to talk. There wasn't a lot of, there wasn't a huge takeaway. This was just kind of me processing where I'm at right now. I'm a little afraid because I don't know like how long it's going to take this time for me to get my voice back. As you can see, like if you've listened like through the episodes, my voice kind of like has energy and loses it based off of kind of how I'm feeling. And so I'm still getting back. But it's good times. It's good times. I'm still learning and I'm still breathing. It may be a little difficult, but I'm thankful for that. And that's one of the things that I'm just trying to learn right now in the space of, you know, you can focus on what's been taken away, or you can focus on what you still got and focus on what you're looking forward to. And I'm trying to do that more. And so maybe that was the takeaway. That's all I got. Shout out Low Fly. Thank you for listening, and I will talk to you soon. I guess tomorrow. Like that's kind of how this goes with the nightly podcast. This is your host Tinayeshe, and this is the Nightly Muse. Peace.